Hey guys, I'm going to be doing 3 nights in Kosciuszko, camping out of my car because I don't have the rooftop tent put on. And it's probably a good thing anyway because we've just had snow up there. I booked Island Bend Campground for 3 nights. It was literally $6 and it costs the same whether I stayed 1 night or three, which is why I can then decide once I'm up there whether or not I can survive 3 nights in the cold. I'll also need a national park pass. It's about $17 a day off season. You can get longer ones weekly and annually. You pay it at the park entry station or the visitor centre. As a solo female traveller, I over-prepare and I research, check and recheck, and download maps on my phone before I leave my house. So updating my family constantly while I am away. Also, when I camp out by myself, I have time set with my family where I'm supposed to message them. If I don't message them by that time, they start to worry, and if more than an hour goes by, they start calling authorities.
The Tank 300 did really well on these tracks coming into the park. I did shift into four-wheel drive around halfway down because the road was a bit washed out, but I think the Tank could have easily done it in two-wheel drive. Upon arriving into the lower section of the Island Bend campground, I drove around scoping out the best spot. I chose a campsite between the river as it forked around the mountain, so it was on both sides. I was uphill enough to be past all the warning signs for flash flooding. The river is known for sudden changes in levels since it is so close to the source, which is the runoff from snow. Since we just had snowfall 4 days ago and it started to seriously melt now, since it was an unseasonable fall, there is a real danger of the water rising. I set up and got comfy, scoping out the drop toilet only a short walk away from my site. I suggest any solo female travellers set up close to a toilet block so you don't have to walk too far in the bush to get to it, but not so close you can smell the unappealing scents. There is a lot that goes into going on a camping trip. It's not just get into your car and go. You've got to pack and you've got to plan and you've got to book things. I booked my campsite, I checked the weather, and I planned my meals and I planned my clothing around the weather.
Packed for 3 nights just in case I stay that long. I'm trying to keep it all really simple, just what I basically need because there won't be a lot of space in the car with my sleeping in there too. Just using an esky with ice, no power set up yet. I'm building up to that. Water, I'm bringing plenty of water. I read on the National Park's website that as long as you filter or boil the creek water, it is also safe to use. Always have a backup though, don't rely on it completely. I have these two hiking mattresses, self-inflatable from Kmart, which I attach to each other and then folded in half to make one single mattress of a thickness. It was not the most comfiest bed I've ever slept in, but it wasn't super uncomfortable. To survive a possibly cold night, I not only had my doona, boiled some water and filled up a hot water bottle. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I put that in my bed so the bed was nice and warm and cozy for when I got in later. I really like these camping bags with the clear tops where you could see exactly what was in the bag. I want a few more, one for like pots and plates and bowls and my utensils. All in all, I didn't pack as much as I would have if I was going to be away for a lot longer. So when I go on my longer trips, I will be packing a lot more. I did plan out all the utensils that I would need based on the meals that I was cooking. In only one moment did I wish I'd packed a pair of scissors, but then I remembered that I had my pocket knife and I used that instead. So I made do. I had a soup spoon, a teaspoon, a soup ladle, and I also had a full cutlery set
I used a small collapsible mixing bowl for my sink instead of a proper sink because it's a lot smaller and I didn't really need a full sink. And then I just had the pot, which I think is classed as the large pot, and my butane cooker. Everybody at the campsite, each other alone, unless you were close by, spaced out really well. Nobody parked up next to each other. They just made sure that there was quite a few campsites between. It wasn't a very busy time of the year. It made me feel safer that everybody was keeping their space. Early night tonight, because tomorrow I head out on the hike, which will be the Main Bridge walk, and it is a 10.5 kilometre total walk starting from Charlotte's Pass. Join me again here on YouTube for when I do the Main Ridge walk. I will be hopefully finishing it and coming back to the campgrounds for another night here at Island Bend Campgrounds. Thanks for watching and hopefully you will continue with me.